Lucky, lucky, lucky me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Wellness Global and the I Am the Brand Business Accelerator interview series. I'm your hostess, Valerie Engel Roberts, and I'm coming to you today with another special guest with a really unique spin. Hey Heidi, welcome Heidi Medina. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
We're super excited to have you, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you today with our audience because I love watching your lives. I love watching you on social media, and that's how you help people come alive in their business. So we're excited to hear directly from you today. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, Heidi, the person, and let us get to know you.
So I have a location independent business that has allowed me to live in Portugal, where I'm applying for citizenship this year because we are going for a European passport, me and my husband. And we're actually from the States. I grew up in North Carolina, Colorado, and then finally Portugal. I work online doing social media marketing strategy. It's actually the conversation side of things because I like talking to people and I like helping people talk so they can connect. Yeah, so we have been house sitting around the world. We did a digital nomad stint and for almost 3 years. And during that time, part of what we did with it was sitting. And so we ended up sitting in some really cool places around the world. And so the photos you've been seeing, that's Miss Betty Five Bellies up in Porto, Portugal. We get to stay with her 2 or 3 times a year. It's a 1 block from the beach, incredible location. And Miss Betty, she tolerates her slaves as long as we give her enough treats.
I love it. I love it. So many people are cat people, and we have one cat now. There was a time when we had like five, but they've gone their different ways with my children and so on. But yeah, animals are such a great way to connect with people because most people have some sort of an affinity with animals. So we can talk more about connecting and stuff like that when we get into your business stuff. But it's memorable, right? Your kids, your animals, your travel, those are all kind of things that imprint in people's brains, like, and make you a real person and not just like, some random talking head on the internet, right?
Yeah, and it is. It's those cool things. I mean, when we share it, we don't really realize truly the impact of it. I know a lot of people are like, "Well, can I share something this personal?" I'm like, "You share whatever you want to share, with the kind of stuff." But it's what, yeah, it's what makes you memorable. It's what allows people to connect. And then, like I said, I didn't even realize like you were watching and seeing all this. So when I share this stuff, I am trying to show some of what life, our business allowed us to live but and lead, and yet it's still you don't even realize how much people are taking in it, how much until you finally hear it that it made an impact.
It's so
I mean, I
true.
know this. I do it for a living, but still I'm always, as you could tell, a little surprised when it happens.
You're like, what? You're watching me on social media? That's what you want, right? So yeah, yeah, for sure. And it is this is a common conversation that we have. Like I've got local groups, women, people will get together and have lunch and whatever, business women, and then of course virtual groups, but it comes up in conversation. It's like, um, you don't know how much people are paying attention and you think, 5 likes, 2 comments, it's nothing, I don't have any traction or whatever, and you kind of can get like frustrated sometimes. But the truth is way more people are seeing your content than you think, and they are,
Absolutely.
they're probably, a lot of them are probably liking it, maybe not commenting or talking to you about it directly or sending you a comment in your story, but they're seeing it. And it is important to continue to be yourself, authentic, put it out there, and continue to allow that connection to be there, even if you don't see them responding. So I'm always surprised when people tell me like, "Oh yeah, I saw this thing you were doing or whatever," and I'm like, "You can comment on it."
No, that's what we say because it's like I already know, and I'm always telling my clients this, but and yet you see, I'm still pleasantly surprised when somebody says, "I continue," because 60% of my clients are lurkers that literally never engaged with me before they finally said, "Hey." how can I work with you? And yet still, I mean, we know we're putting this out. We know people are seeing us, and yet it's still such a pleasure when somebody finally does say, I've seen you, because you do this, and a lot of times you're doing it to an invisible audience. So it's really cool when the audience does come out and say, "Hi, I'm here," because and as much as I do this and I'm an expert at it, it's still. I was laughing about this the other day because I was working with a client and he's like, we just adjusted my headline, and 48 hours later, I've already booked 4 calls. What you do works. And I'm sitting here, I'm still like, yes, it worked. And yet I do this every day, but every time it's still, oh my God, it worked.
Right. That's the joy of business, right? Constantly surprising ourselves with what we are able to do with our skills and talents. Well, talk to us a little bit more specifically. Tell us, we know we've learned a little bit about you from my lurking and stalking, but tell us a little bit more about, your business, who you help, what you do on a day-to-day basis.
I work with established online business owners and coaches, mostly service provider side of things that don't do physical products. It's all mostly digital services, things like that. I help them increase visibility and they get to connect with purpose. Because it's for me, it's all about organic marketing. I've got nothing against paid, just not my expertise. It's about building meaningful relationships, talking connections into clients using engaging social media content and strategy that will spark a conversation and build trust, because I'm not into like the icky burn marketing, cold pitching and DM, that kind of stuff. So I help people do it in an authentic way that you build a relationship that will last. So you end up not just with the client once, but you turn a lot of them into repeat clients and you build an audience of super fans that are supporting you and relationships with peers so that you got collaborations that can network. I mean, it changes the whole game when you take that approach to it because everybody's enjoying it rather than we're just tossing marketing stuff at them. I find it so much better. At the end of the day, it comes down to the conversation for me on that side of stuff. And I do what I really, really help, and I'm stepping into my magic massively this year is I really help people not only do the conversation, but do the live side of conversation. So they're gonna lives online, live events, just getting out doing interviews like this, networking events, things like that. So you're really building an audience through connection, and people actually get to see you, personality, that kind of stuff. So it's fun. I love it.
Yeah. And you have one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we included in the I am the brand is the LinkedIn presence, because while we're doing it in Facebook and we are in a Facebook group, I'm Gen X. I like Facebook. I'm not going to apologize anymore.
Don't.
I'm comfortable, right? I'm just comfortable there. And it
Good
feels easy
platform.
for me, right? But I also understand as a professional and as somebody with a career path, like the value of relationships on LinkedIn. And personally, I'm seeing over recently like a shift from the very heavy, like, I don't know, there was a period where it was like a very icky, total DM fest like pitch, which you still
Yeah.
get, but it's
Oh,
becoming
yeah.
more personal. It's like I'm a professional and I'm a person at the same time.
Right?
And I'm liking that. I'm liking where that's going. And I think it is valuable to have a good, clear presence on LinkedIn. And you're a LinkedIn person too, right?
Yes, I do. It's my main, Facebook being my second. Those are my two main platforms in general. But LinkedIn is an incredible platform. And a lot of people, especially women, smaller business owners and stuff, are worried it's too professional, as in the corporate style professionalism. But it used to be, but not anymore. It's definitely the place for us over there. And probably one of the reasons you're starting to enjoy it more is it's starting to get a little more of the aspect. I don't want to say it's becoming like Facebook because it's not, but it is getting a little more of the personal approach, the little more less, I don't even want to say less professional. We're just becoming more real. What a real business owner looks like. It's not corporate buttoned up, must be only do it this way kind of thing. Instead, it's relax the way we really run our businesses. We're starting to show up that way over there more and more, which I've been encouraging people to do since 2018, but people are finally realizing they can unbutton a button or two off the top of the collar and it's no big deal. You can show up in yoga pants on LinkedIn, guys. It's okay.
Finally.
You
Yeah.
can, if
Yeah.
it matches your brand, show up however you want to show up and show up with whatever content. There's still some old school thought over there for sure. You're still going to have some of the douchebags that like to drop the, oh my God, this isn't Facebook into the feed. But if it works for you and your brand, do it. Screw them, block them if you need to.
Right. Yeah. It's your world. You can create it how you want to, for sure. Everywhere. Facebook,
Absolutely.
everywhere. LinkedIn. Yeah. Yeah. For a long time, it just felt like LinkedIn was like just a big brag fest. Like, look at my new accomplishment. Look at my new accomplishment. Here, buy this from me. And it just felt like, when you look through a magazine and you get to the back where it's all the business ads, that's what it felt like. Like you were just looking at the business
Yeah.
ads. It's like, who wants to do that, unless you're specifically looking for something. But it is really warming up. So I'm glad that you're here with us and that you're here to share that message. It must feel for you being a person who's trying to shift the needle toward that real business person kind of thing from going 2018 to now, you had to be persistent and consistent. So for 6 years, you're like, let's be real, guys. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real, guys. And it's got to feel like pulling teeth sometimes, shifting the culture. But
It does, but you know what? The COVID really is going to be one of the benefits from COVID. Where things really started shifting there because so many people came onto the platform out of necessity of, oh my God, I can't do business in person anymore or out in the in-person world. So many people were coming online that LinkedIn is when that's really took a massive shift because we saw a lot of people come online who didn't have online businesses and got to help them through. But as a result, they were coming on and just doing whatever they normally did and doing the best they could. And so we got to guide them through. But that also brought we started seeing a lot softer approach, which was cool. And yeah, and people started, and really that's when be authentic you, show up as you, talk the way you were going to talk, that kind of stuff really took off. And it's been growing since on the platform. And I know a lot of people are still scared to death of it, thinking it's the professional platform. I can't come be myself. That's not the case. That's seriously not the case. Just come be you, do your business the way you're going to do it, and enjoy it because there are so many amazing people on LinkedIn. And I do enjoy it because as more people come on, it is shifting a little less, but it is really the platform to get into good conversations. Whereas, Facebook and stuff, people are more apt to drop a really quick comment, move on, but they're not really looking for an extended conversation. Whereas LinkedIn, there is a lot more of that atmosphere for creating a conversation and building a lot more of a relationship. So that's one of the reasons I like the platform and the reason it's my number one because of that reason. It's a lot more relationship and talking oriented, which of course is what I specialize in.
yeah, yeah. I love that it's becoming more like that because that like cerebral part of you, like I crave that. I don't want to be bickering about the eclipse on Facebook. I don't like, I want like if I'm gonna have a conversation, I want it to be a real rich conversation about my business or whatever topics or relate to that. So I'm excited about that. And we're so glad you're in the I am the brand. This kind of like segues to what we were talking about, like as showing up authentically and
Yeah.
um, as yourself, and you can be yourself. And we're entering this time now. My parents don't really understand it. Like my parents were like, you need to get your career path when you're 18 and you do that until you die. Like you don't leave.
Right?
You don't leave that job. You don't leave that pension. Recently, my brother was changing jobs and he's 33 and they're like, do they have a pension? Do they have this? Do they have that? And I'm like, guys, it's not, I mean, he's probably going to
This is
change
what
jobs like 15 more times before he's retired.
yeah.
Like, or, totally shift career path. So it's definitely a mind shift. But I think one of the things that Gen X, like people like us who were kind of raised with that thinking, but now it's a shift, it was like, well, but on LinkedIn, I'm this person. I have these degrees and I had these jobs, and now I can't come in there and be an entrepreneur or be doing my own thing or hobby or whatever. I have to be this person, but you can, because it's just a
Yes.
more fluid career world now, I think. And LinkedIn lends
Yes.
perfectly to that.
Does. I mean, the platform itself is going through an identity crisis of deciding am I going to be more corporate employer based, or am I going to embrace that I have business owners on here? And we are seeing a few growing pains from that because LinkedIn is staying stuck kind of in like corporate 50 years ago kind of atmosphere, but we're kind of forcing it to do what it's going to do because we're coming whether it likes it or not. We're there whether it likes it or not. And so you're seeing that shift. You still got the old world, old guys thinking, the old club is kind of where we talk, and they still got the old, you can't post a selfie, no pet photos. And I'm like, come on, you do that at work. I love every one of them. They're like, well, you shouldn't be talking about that on the, oh my God. And of course, Gen X, I don't know how much later in it you are, but I'm in the middle of it, and perimenopause has kicked in. Well, some women are talking about perimenopause on LinkedIn now. And of course, that's not making the guys happy. But that's what we're going through, and we're normalizing these things that, women in general go through, even in the corporate world, that we've kept hush hush for all these years. And so it's really a radical shift in what you're seeing happening over there with the whole environment of women starting to own their power, even in the corporate world or as business owners. We're owning it, and you're not shutting us up no more. We're not hiding anymore. And so it's watching that, it just makes me feel proud to even be part of it because I just see more and more women stepping up and speaking and talking about what they're doing and not hiding anymore, not worried, am I bragging, am I doing whatever, and just showing up and being visible. And I'm gonna say it's a pretty empowering time right now. And I don't know how many of us realize truly how much. I'm not sure I did till we were talking about this.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, yeah, you're making me excited. Like I'm like, I need to be over there more. Like, I'm getting excited thinking about it. But you're so right. I mean, I always throw that out when I'm having like a business conversation. Like, I mean, over 50% of the world are women. Like our experiences and our experience in life and our experience in business is just as valid to talk about as anyone else's. I'm like, why do we try to like push this down and make pretend like it's not happening? So yeah, that's great because it's water cooler talk, it's happy hour talk, it is the conversations that we have to have to like be resilient, to continue to be in our business and to show up. We have to be real about who we are.
Right. And as women, I mean, just if we even take our hormones into consideration, the stuff from starting from young age all the way through, it affects our life, and we build businesses and stuff around this. And yet for years we weren't talking about it. And it's just now, we're really being much more that this is how we run business. And I know you and I, before we got on the call, you were talking about how you're connecting more in with feminine energy now. And it's same for me. I mean, that resonated with me so much because we've lived in a man's world for so long, and we're finally, now I'm getting to, I work with mostly women, and as I say, enlightened men. Because I don't mind working with both, but there is definitely a certain level of the male population side I don't work with. But it is helping women step up and become okay with being visible, okay talking about their business, and okay with learning that sales don't have to be done, one or two ways like they've been being done all this time. Instead, I'm able to show them that we can have that softer approach and it's fine. Our marketing can have that more feminine energy and it's okay. And that's been a whole thing, and that's been lacking because it's, oh, you can only market this way. You can only sell this way. And yet there's literally a million and one ways to do it. And I get to help people pick out the strategies that work for them. And I love it. And for me, it's a giant puzzle, putting it together. What's going to work for you?
Yeah.
And what's going to get you visible? What's going to get your voice out there and heard so that you can find your people and that connection. And it's so much fun for me, and I love it, and I do love empowering women to be able to step up and own it, that I'm a business owner. I get to talk about this. I get to, sell myself and put things out there in the world without having to worry about it. I don't know. I just feel honored sometimes and blessed.
It's a great place to be, right? That's an awesome place to be. You're a great example of what you can do when you put your mind to it and you build a business around who you are and what you love. And I mean, that's the essence of what we're doing at I Am the Brand is, empowering these business people to be in that place, feel empowered, do what you love, use the, strategies, techniques, whatever that are authentic and that work for you, but to own your business and to be successful, whatever that looks like for you, whether it means
Yeah.
being location independent, whether it means having a fancy car, whether it means living in a hut in the middle of the woods, like whatever it is, we want
Whatever
that.
makes you happy.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we actually opened the doors to I Am the Brand on April 1st. So we're active now. It's live. And we're going through June 30th with live content. So yourself and the other 37 experts are bringing in valuable content in their specific areas of expertise for the next 85 plus days. And it's just going to be a wonderfully rich opportunity to get to know you and the other experts better, and to get to know the other members better, to connect, to network, and to grow, and to figure out who you want to work with, either in collaborations or as a mentor, client, or whatever. So, Heidi, we're excited for you to get in there and get started in the next few months. What are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to sharing and bring into the container?
Well, I'm going to be helping everybody make those DMs that everybody hates so much or is a little worried about actually doing. I'm going to make it where you can have fun, learn how to do them without I'm not going to be recommending any cold pitches in DM. I don't do that, guys. And it's something I definitely don't agree with. There's a better way of being able to get into people's DMs using a warm approach. And I'm going to be talking all about how to get the conversation started with your ideal client so that you can move it into DM and then continue it till you turn them into a client. So it's some fun stuff coming.
I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to hear more from you inside there. If you all who are listening, if you have not joined I Am the Brand yet, do that right now. Just go down in the description of this video and it's iamthebrand.info. Just like click on that. And Heidi actually has a promo code. It's her last name, Medina. And you can use that to come in for $111. So it's just a little over $1 a day for 90 days with 37 international experts. I mean, here we have Heidi in Portugal. We have friends in the UK, Canada, places I can't even pronounce because I'd never heard of them before we actually started this. I was like, where are you at? But just New Zealand, around the world, and bringing all of this valuable information with their unique niche to you to empower your business. So do that now. If you haven't done it yet, get in there, see what's in there. And we were talking before we started, but one of the things I love about this concept is that you don't have to do it all in one day or one weekend. You don't have to feel like you're drinking from a fire hose. You have 90 days. So if you want to block off time on Saturday mornings or during your morning coffee time every day during the week, whatever it is that works for you in your life, you can do that with this program. Obviously, we hope you'll join us when we're coming live. Some of the folks are making events in the group that you can see when they're going to be coming live. And we hope that you will attend those as they align with you. But we want it to be palatable and digestible so you can really take this and explode your business as we move into the second quarter of 2024. Heidi, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning. I want to just let you have the last few minutes here to say anything else that you want to say, anything that came to mind while we were chatting.
Yeah, so one thing I'd like to invite everybody to do is remember, if you're joining this, it's 90 days to network. You've got 37 amazing experts in the group. You're also going to have everybody who's joining you as well that's along there. They're all experts in what they do. So take advantage of the opportunity to network. Get in there, talk to us, talk to everybody. Don't be a lurker. You guys heard us talk about lurkers in the earlier thing. Don't actually be a lurker, because if you aren't, you can come out with amazing relationships that continue, whether you end up finding someone that can help you in your business or collaborate with you and you guys do a project together, or who knows what, you can come out with friends even and stuff. So all this stuff's so important. So do make sure you're taking advantage of that, because it's not too often we get into one container and that amount of time space and actually get to take advantage and get to know people and use it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. One of the things I'm doing, and I think I'll go live in the group and mention this as well, but obviously you have your family and friends or whatever that you follow on social media. But one of the things I'm really being intentional about is making sure that I'm following and connecting with all of our experts on social media and our members, because I want to, as they're taking what they're learning here and implementing it, I want to support them. So I'm following them, and I'm really trying to keep up a time on my day every day to go in and check up on them and see what they're doing and support them and comment and like, and not be a lurker, but be a true supporter for them so that they can really see the momentum going. So great point. Thank you for bringing that up about being engaged. Well,
Networking is so important. It's one of the main things that I help people with, is to get the networking on. Take advantage of it. That's what social media lets you do. So this is an amazing opportunity to really go for it.
thank you. Thank you for being a part of it, Heidi. We're going to let y'all go for now. I am the brand.info. Use the code Medina. Come in for $111. Do that today before you forget. And we will see you inside the accelerator. Have a great day, and we'll see you here next time. Bye.
Lucky, lucky, lucky me.